Hi guys, my name is Lucia and it is time. Oh, it is time for another anti-haul. Kimberly Clark invented these. I will link her down below. I have not done an anti-haul in a while. It has been a minute and I am ready. You might be thinking, Lucia, you're on a no-buy? Isn't everything an anti-haul right now? And yes, technically I am on a no-buy. I can't buy any of this stuff even if I wanted to. But I know that a lot of you guys are doing a no-buy for the entire year of 2019, and I thought this would be inspirational to anyone who is doing a no-buy, doing a low-buy, or just trying to watch their spending after the holidays. There is stuff coming out, and you don't need to buy it. Let's get into it. First thing is the Lime Crime Venus XL2 palette. I just did a Make Up Your Mind video where I talked about the XL palette and how I never knew it existed, and this palette just looks boring. You have a couple of shimmer shades and a bunch of matte shades, and it does go with the theme of, is it peaches or lemons, whatever fruit citrus that is. You've got some green, you've got some orange, but it's just so muted. I don't know. It just doesn't scream anything to me that I would be inspired by. Every shade that's not a green, I promise you, you can dupe in your collection, and every shade that is a green, you might not ever use. It's one of those palettes that it looks different, but then you take a closer look and you realize it's just a muted version of what you already have. The first XL palette, I believe, is more pink and purple. This one is, like I said, more fruit themed with the green and orange. It's kind of like the peach palette again, but again, more muted. It's all right. Like, you don't need it. It's kind of boring. This is the Milani Luminous Glow Shimmering Face Palette. It's $18 freaking for a drugstore face palette, and it has these tiny little slivers of triangles that you're somehow magically supposed to get your brush into. Highlights, blushes, and bronzers. Well, these all look very, very shimmery. I'm not into a shimmery bronze look. You do you. How are you supposed to get your brush into this? Unless you have a small highlighter brush, or you take a big fluffy brush and you squeeze it and then put your brush in. It's not practical. And I mean, I get it. They wanted to squeeze 4 shades into it, but even making little strips would have been much more practical. There's just no way you could use this. Maybe as an eyeshadow, but damn, for $18, please buy something else. Apparently, this is the year of the pig. It is the lunar pig year, and the only reason I know that is because for some reason now we're putting pigs on the makeup. Now, don't get me wrong. Pigs are great. They're cute. I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat animals. Love pigs. But this just, I'm not quite sure about this one. This is the Ambient Lighting Blush 2019 Lunar New Year Edition Vivid Flush for $38. The only place that you see the pig is on the box that you buy it in. Now, I know Becca came out with a highlight that has a pig in it. Sure, it's cute, it's nice, but this, you don't see the pig. So unless you are looking to buy one Hourglass blush and you're a very deep complexion and this is your perfect blush shade, there's no reason to buy this for the pig that's not even on the product. This is a sneak peek of the Smashbox Crystallized Shimmer Drops. It is an illuminating liquid. It looks like the Cover FX, maybe the glitter drops. It's basically the same thing except in a different form. It looks really, really small. It doesn't really say when this is coming out or how much it's gonna be, but it's Smashbox, so I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of money, and I'm tired of the droppy thing. Illuminating primers are great. I don't love cream highlights. I don't know many people who do love cream highlights, and liquid highlights is like cream highlight but worse. I don't know. I was never into the glitter drops from Cover FX. It's just too out there, and I'm not really sure if the world needs this. I'll be honest, I don't think we need this. This is also coming soon, not released yet, but there's no way I'm buying it. It is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics brush. It's a brush with his star on it. It's probably gonna be really expensive. I don't know how good of a brush it's gonna be, but unless you're a die-hard Jeffree Star fan, you don't need a brush with a star on it. I know it's rose gold, and I know it's pretty and metallic, but it's a brush. It's just a brush. Go to CVS, buy a brush for $3, maybe a wet brush, one of those like $10. I don't know. If I were to buy something from Jeffree Star, it would not be a brush, let me tell you that. It would be like a highlight or an eyeshadow palette because I've never tried anything from him, but not a brush. This is the Physicians Formula and Casey collaboration, and instead of making a bronzer, blush, and highlighter, an eyeshadow, a lipstick, and a perfume, and putting them out separately, they just put them all in the same big gigantic box that is super inconvenient and you'll never use. Yay! So there's a bronzer, a blush, a highlight. There are 3 eyeshadows. There's a tan, an orange brown, a red brown, and a green. I guess that's a pretty combo. It's kind of random. And then there's the lipstick that had to be in the palette. It couldn't have been sold next to the palette. And then there's the perfume again that had to be in the palette. Now I remember last year when they did the whole set with the perfume in the palette, I complained then. I definitely talked about that in an anti-haul about how it's so bulky. Why couldn't they just attach it to the top? And just in general, they could have made this super thin. Now, obviously not with the lipstick and the perfume, but in general, Physicians Formula has really, really bulky packaging. Now, I'm not sure how much this is. I'm sure that it's a good deal because their stuff is expensive. I know last time when they had a box, it was like all for the price of what would usually be 1.5 bronzers. So this is probably good in terms of price, but I would love to know who is using this every day. I would love to know that. Even if you take the lipstick out and you take the perfume out and you use those every day, who is reaching for a big, big box for a blush, bronzer, and highlight, and then these random 4 eyeshadows that I guess could make 1 look, maybe 2 if you like throw in a green, but besides that, it's just so unnecessary. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. Wait a minute, no it's not. It's the Naked Reloaded palette. Whoops, I couldn't tell the difference because they're the same palette with the same color scheme. What? This one is honestly very, very confusing. Like, literally, they're the same palette. Like, if you compare the 2 palettes, they have all the same color scheme. I am not alone here when I am saying that's not what we expected for the new Naked palette. The Cherry palette was kind of different. I'm pretty sure I still anti-hauled it, but it was kind of different. This is literally the Anastasia palette, but it's a Naked palette. I think the color scheme is pretty on this. I don't know why there's that random peach in there, but I think that some of the cool tone shades would be nice. It's nothing that I would ever run out and buy. It's honestly confusing. I saw someone say that perhaps this was in the making at the same time that the Sultry palette was in the making and the Sultry palette just made it on the market faster, in which case that's a bummer. That's really, really hard to believe. It's really hard to believe that with 2 separate brands that are this big, they would both have the same idea for the exact same color story. Urban Decay is not the follower. The Naked palette was the original, and it's ironic that the next Naked palette is literally an exact copy of something else. What do you guys think about this? It's very shocking. It's very weird. These are the new Tarte Cosmetics edition to the hashtag Shape Tape family. We have a moisture reset cream for $35, a pressed powder for $32. It is so much money for a powder. The Pore and Prime Balm, which is $25. I'm assuming that's similar to their other primer that they have. That's like a pore filling primer in that pot that's kind of like a cream. And then there is a hydrating primer for $30. I didn't realize that the Shape Tape concealer made its way to be like a whole Shape Tape family. I mean, it's pretty clear because they have a Shape Tape foundation, they have a Shape Tape primer, but I've never seen anyone talk about anything except the Shape Tape concealer, and I'm just not sure how well these will do. I made a Make Up Your Mind video a long time ago about brands who milk off the success of their older products, where they slap a name on the product and the only reason you're even interested in the product is because of that name, such as the Naked palette line. And I kind of feel the same way about this because if you strip that Shape Tape name, this is just a powder that is $32. That's so much. Some primers, and I don't know, I think I would have to see if the primers are any good, but I almost enjoy it less because it has the Shape Tape. Now, that's kind of silly because I know the Shape Tape is a line, but I also kind of can't get over the fact that I feel like they're milking it because their concealer did well. What do you guys think about that? I understand that that is me being a little bit crazy. It probably is fine and I'm just making that up in my head, but I don't know, it still bothers me. Plus, really? $32? Really? For a powder? Alright guys, that was everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you are not gonna buy right now. Please give this a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!